This is what we call gang som in Thai. Som, orange. You know what else is orange? Got him. Hey, my name is Jobby, and today we're taking a look at the metal build Evangelion Unit 1. And straight up, it's not worth it. I felt just a twinge of regret once I opened this thing up. Look at the size of the figure compared to the big ass box. Bruh, that's like when you pop open a bag of Lay's and it's 20% chips. It's bullshit. There's a reason why the box is so big, but with all that being said, I would shove this thing so far up my ass. Some assembly is required out of the box, but it's simple enough. And these shoulder thingies are made out of die-cast metal. And how do I know this? You asking the right questions, you goddamn incel. If ever in your life you wanted to know if a piece is made of die-cast metal, simply touch the hell out of it, and if it's cold to the touch, bam. I call it the cold touch technique. This thing is simply put an ultra-detailed, hyper-realistic version of the classic Evangelion Unit 1 design. And if you click this video, I assume we all know what Evangelion is, right? Just fucking with you. No one knows what Evangelion is. Just watch that shit on Netflix when it comes out. It's complete garbage.
But father, I don't want to get in the giant robot.
Son, you're getting into this goddamn super weapon whether you like it or not, and you're gonna cry about it and I'm not gonna give a shit. I'm gonna make a 14-year-old clone of my dead wife and I'm gonna fuck. It's a good show. If the main man, the cinematic legend himself, Michael Bay, were to get his grubby little hands on the Evangelion property, this figure was a potential live-action design. Let's just pray to our Lord and Savior that never happens. Michael Bay, bad, insightful, original commentary. All you gotta do is look at this thing and you can tell that it's a creature of muscle and metal. And yeah, chances are if a piece is shiny, it's made out of actual die-cast metal. Fuck. And how do I know this, man? You already know. I told you. It's the whole idea behind Bandai's metal build line. Most of the line, from what I've seen, consists of giant robots. And they have die-cast metal interiors with mostly plastic exteriors. This concept is perfect for figures of giant robots. Except she's not really a giant robot. Spoilers for the first episode, by the way, but I don't give a shit. Why do you think she has what looks to be muscle definition in some areas? Yeah, you heard that right.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am. Motherfucker, take it outside!
The metal skeleton features some moving parts, such as these elbow tendons and these good old pussy bones moving in and out. While we're here,
oh baby, when
this is an issue. But believe it or not, it was much worse out of the box. She couldn't even stand up. I actually disassembled the leg. Wasn't too hard, but you could kind of see that it left some scarring. All I had to do was pry this part open, and that was more difficult than it sounds. As you can see, I had to strip the peg there, and in that hole, there is a screw that I just simply screwed off. Pumped that metal hinge joint with some Loctite super glue, moved that around for a bit, then what do I get? It ain't perfect, but at least she can stand up without her leg giving away. I could already hear the shrill screeching of my fellow man-children. Do you know how much that costs? No shit, I paid for it. Better to disassemble it and fix it myself than pay that much for a whole new one.
You could have just asked for a replacement part.
This is good. My drug-addled stepbrother made it. Everything else is nice and tight, especially those 3 ball joints at the midsection here. That gives you an excellent crunch. And if you wanted some side-to-side movement,
Forgive me, Father.
each of these black panels are on a ball joint, so they're able to move out of the way when you bend it. And you could replicate Eva 1's signature bad posture.
What?
That head could bend all the way forward, and you could open her mouth to reveal her gummy, toothless mouth. Really should have came with some human teeth. And come to think of it, her mouth is the only spot of red throughout the whole figure. Unlike the original design, which had bits and accents of red throughout. I think it's a missed opportunity here. I would have liked to seen her flesh look more red and bloody.
There is only death.
excuse me, I have AIDS. On the topic of color, the overall pastel purple here is not really doing it for me. I would have preferred a more Megatron colored, or maybe even a mangosteen purple. Anyone know what a mangosteen is? What the fuck? That's Pen! The figure comes with a lot of shit. Not only do you get this pair of relaxed hands, pop them off their ball joint, you can replace them with a pair of fists, clawed hands, you understand what I mean by clawed, and this pair of trigger finger hands. And that's gonna allow you to exercise her Second Amendment rights. The gun's even got a removable clip, and this thing could even reload. And if we use one out of these 4 holsters and combine that with one of these 4 weapon struts, those shits can plug together, attach that to one of these holes in the shoulder, and the gun could slide right into there. We also get the Pallet Rifle, which is a major redesign from the original one. And the Pallet Rifle here has 3 attachments: grenade launcher, bayonet, and a laser cannon. The magazine here is also removable, and if we raise this piece up, you can also holster that. And if we replace those trigger finger hands with an alternate pair of grabby hands, remove this attachment of the bayonet, she's able to hold the bayonet like a regular old knife. These grabby stabby hands can also hold these 2 swords. Swing! That's a good look. They also happen to be made out of die-cast metal. She's exuding some straight up white knight energy. Milady, nothing personal, kid. You could go ahead and sheath these swords up and attach them to a holster, but nah. You get this pair of parts, come on her thigh, come to the thigh, little panel here that you can move, and that part's gonna plug right into that slot. Grab one of these holsters, plug them into any of these holes, hell yeah. As for the last weapon, we got something called the progressive knife.
Motherfucker, take it outside!
At least that's what I think it's called. You could peg this knife into any of these holes here. That's pretty much the maximum amount of items she can equip on herself. Damn, Mom! Murder me, Mommy. Holy shit! Some spicy ass weather. If this whole decked out look is a little too much for you, well, you could take all of those weapons and shove them up and put them on this included base. Some assembly is required. Please do not go anywhere, fuck. And then you can lock the figure in just like the show. Then you can plug in all the weapons like I told you can do. There's actually something missing. You got a cable that plugs right into this block there, and this end is gonna plug into this head that plugs right into the back, and now giant robo death mommy is properly docked in. That's pretty epic and all, but what if you wanted some more dynamic poses? Well, you got the stand arm. This part pops off, and the stand arm plugs right the hell in there, man. But how do we hook her up into the stand, you ask, as breadcrumbs fall out of your mouth? You can actually switch the umbilical cable head. Yeah, it's called the umbilical cable, birth metaphor, whatever. Plug that into the stand, and that plugs right into the back as you'd expect. And that's gonna open up so much more posing options. With all the stuff you can fit on this base, I'm surprised and disappointed that you can't put all the other shit on there. No room for the holsters, no room for the hands, no room for fucking anything. No, not even any room for the armor. You heard me, bitch.
First thing you want to do, replace that head cap. Pop this foot guard off its ball joint, and you're gonna take one of the shin armors and snap it in. And that ankle guard gets replaced by this thing. Same thing on the other side.
Now she's all armored up and that looks sick! Now let me go on a bit of a tangent that'll loop back around, I promise. In the show, Neon Genesis Evangelion, the way that a pilot enters the Evangelion is through an entry plug.
Basically looks like a giant cigarette.
And I wanted to point that out because for all of the stuff that this figure comes with, no entry plug. What were they thinking? And that's all I want to say about that.
Head's on a ball joint, she can look up that far. Side to side is pretty limited. Just pop off her head, pop off this Adam's apple. Head rotation increases significantly. Base of the neck, you get a hinge joint. This whole shoulder assembly's on a ball joint. A lot of movement there, actually. This shoulder pad's on a ball joint, and this part's on a ball joint. Bicep, bend at the elbow, wrist ball joint, get a bit of rotation, and a hinge joint. Instead of getting this up and down movement, you could twist that hinge joint and get some side to side. That much of a kick. Move back that far. You already know about that. Pretty tight thigh rotation. Can go the other way that far. Bend at the knee. This part moves as you're bending it. Hell yeah. And a ball joint here, here, and here. With a hinge joint inside for good measure. This ankle can move all over the damn place. Not to mention, you get a toe.
That posability is damn fine.
And I'm glad the figure comes with this sheet of instructions. Obviously, it tells you how to build the stand and all that, but it also includes a diagram detailing the range of some of the joints.
I wish more stupidly priced figures came with a sheet like this. I don't want to damage this thing in the long run. Bandai already did that part for me.
So you guys already saw how big the figure is compared to the box.
Ridiculous.
But she's still pretty dang tall.
Here she is next to the Bandai Modikit version of Unit 1, Sentinel Ryobat Shiryu, Pen, and the Mayfex Unit 1. Maybe some of you are gonna point out where my other Evangelion figures are. They're all in storage. Fuck off. If some of you guys are unfamiliar on how my scoring works on this channel, basically I give a certain amount of kisses out of 3. 3 being my maximum. Sometimes you get 4, but Mombot over here, she at least deserves 1 smooch. And 2 more for good measure. 3 in total. I got mine from the Big Bad Toy Store, but the pre-order window for this figure was super tight.
Just like your mama's pussy!
Like I said at the beginning, not worth it, but I don't regret it at all. I am in debt, please help.
Jobby shirts are back in stock at the Screenwave Media Store. Please buy them. I only get $8 per $20 shirt. That's not even a joke, guys. Please!